so happy that you are here as we find out what's going to happen for you this week. So this is a timeless reading, so whenever you're watching this, it's just the right time. So just thank you so much for my new friends, and thank you so much for my old friends. I always am excited to make new friends and just to even catch up with my old friends too. It's always amazing. So you can see there's going to be pile 1, this is pile 2, and this is pile 3, and this is pile 4. So right now I'm kind of doing like a live reading sort of, so I don't actually edit at all. So we just kind of go through this whole thing. We do have tarot cards and oracle cards. And if you want the information about the oracle cards or tarot cards I'm using, it's all in the description down below. Also in the description down below is a way to contact me via Gmail to book a personal reading. And currently I'm doing like a spooky Halloween theme reading, but I just, as you see throughout the year, it's just like I just have a lot of fun with it. So I usually, for my readings, I do Lenormand, tarot cards and oracle cards, and if I'm called to, usually a sprinkle of charms as well. I haven't been using the charms because I'm kind of sorting through them right now. So, and I also have other things planned with the charms. So lots of little updates. Also down in the description below is also if you want to donate to the channel. And I will be putting up an Amazon wish list if you want to help with that. I am thinking of doing like a subscription, not like sort of like Patreon, but with a different platform is what I would say. So let me know if you're interested in that at all, because I thought it would be cool. I actually wanted to make it like a little fun, but just I guess throwing that out there. Let me know if you're actually interested in that. Yeah, I think that's all I have for this week. I realized I can actually, I usually try to avoid, communicating all the different things, because I'm like, oh, you want to just get to the reading, and I get that. So I guess if you're just into that, you usually just pick a pile and you just go with it. But for those of you who actually want more information, I decided to just kind of, maybe on the week, what's happening this week, just checking in and just telling you what's up. Hope you like this. All right, enough with the jibber jabber. Let's go ahead and close our eyes and inhale. Clear our mind. I'm lately thinking of shifting your body a little bit while you're doing this, and then as you exhale and open your eyes, choose whichever pile draws you to it. All right, let's do this. So like I said, we're just gonna kind of do all the different piles. There we go. All right, pile 1. So this is the energy, the current energy for this week. Like the overall energy is what I would say. So we have 2. We have unfinished business and then power. So when I see the unfinished business, and this is my spooky oracle mystic night site available on Etsy. When I see unfinished business, I know that something or someone is coming back to just kind of, I feel like to clear your, I would say energy, but to clear just to make sure that you're not repeating cycles. So I feel like when that unfinished business, it's sort of like somebody or something is coming back. Like could be like it could also be habits that are just coming back and seeing if you're ready to go for another round, or if you're done with it, right? Sometimes you need to clear that energy up so that we connect to our power. And so I feel like, and look at this, it's both hands. One is like kind of decayed because it's zombie hand, and then the other one is a live hand. So I feel like what I am seeing here is if you're being called from something in the past, or maybe past habits, whatever it is, that's not where your energy power is. Your power is in the current situation. I actually have to say, the power is now. It's not even in the future, but it's in the right now. And so knowing that, and I also feel like, oh yeah, I'm getting that right there. I see that. So sometimes we have, people come back into our lives because we need to see we haven't noticed the growth that we've gone through. And so they come back and you kind of are like, wow, I'm a different person, or like, wow, look at this growth, or like, yeah, I've evolved, right? And so that might be something. So you're noticing, when you notice that, sometimes we need that comparison. And so that's why we have something, we call upon something from the past, or the universe brings us something from the past, so that we can actually see, hey, who I used to be is not who I am currently. And there is this like progress that's been happening. And like, you're like, wow. Or it could be the opposite. You could actually be like, hey, this person comes back, and you get back into this old habit, old routine, and it just doesn't feel comfortable. And then you say, hey, this is no longer me. This is no longer for me. So I feel like that this is actually like, for some of you, it might be like, no, it's not. But it's to me a blessing in disguise, that unfinished business coming right back. Because I feel like that, and that's really what I'm getting. Like, you just have to know, hey, I've progressed, I've evolved, I've grown, and who I used to be is not who I am. And so that's an important message coming through here for you for this week. All right, let's see what other messages are coming through. Yeah, that's the 5 of Pentacles, totally. 3 of Pentacles. Oh, sorry, my little friend is joining us like he always is. Okay, yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's totally the energy here. I'm sorry. No, you're not going in there, friend. I don't know what it is. I always find it fascinating that the cats always want to go where they're not supposed to. There's like, there is no boundaries for cats. Okay. So 5 of Pentacles. I feel like maybe that might be unfinished business coming through here. Again, it's sort of like that energy. And then the 7 of Wands. Kind of almost. And the 3 of Wands, Pentacles. Okay. So this is actually quite interesting for me, because I feel like the 5 of Pentacles is sort of what I feel the unfinished business is. And for me, the 4 of Cups is like, I really do feel like whatever it is, I feel like it's a little challenging, is a blessing in disguise. It's this Ace of Cups. It's allowing you to move forward. So maybe this unfinished business, maybe it was a connection with somebody, and you're like, and you've been thinking about this person. And they come back, or you see them again, and then you're like, and then you realize the shift. You're like, hey, that is no longer, that's not who I'm interested in, or that's not what I really want anymore, right? And so then that's the Ace, because this for me is always, when I see the 4 of Cups, it's always like there's an Ace of Cups that's being offered, but you're not noticing it. And so the Ace of Cups is like a new beginning, a new sense of fulfillment, happiness. So maybe you've been a little bit too stuck in the past, and this is like we need to move forward. Let's see. So 5 of Pentacles energy is also the sense of, like, again, it's sort of echoing this a lot, because it's sort of, you have something available to, some help available to you at this point in time, but you're not seeing it. You're kind of focusing on this right here. It's like, I feel like, yeah, but I really, how do I say it? I feel like this is, even though like, yeah, some of these are like intense cards, but they're not full intense, because it's not, I always notice the difference. Major Arcana means that it's sort of like the universe is kind of bringing here. The Minor Arcana means that you have ability to shift, change. Like, I mean, the major, you can still change, but it's sort of like, it means that there's something that you kind of need to change for yourself here. And then the 4 of Cups is something you need to see. The 5 of Pentacles is reminding you do have abundance, you do have help with, and especially because it's being paired with this 3 of Pentacles, but you're choosing kind of almost to say no. With this 7 of Wands, it's sort of like you feel like you have to go at it alone, and I just feel like that's not something that's necessarily it's true. And look, I actually love that there's like, so maybe even this unfinished business, I do feel like it's the universe that's coming something, but it's sort of like a skeleton hand in this case, holding the Ace. Oh, okay. Sorry, it's like, oh, and it comes right at me. Past loved ones, that's what I'm saying. Past loved ones are trying to help you, are trying to guide you, are trying to give you this Ace of Cups, but you are not paying attention to it at all. I think you're a little too focused on the past. Maybe past hurts, past, like, it was like something where you felt it was unfair, and so you're kind of like, I feel like you're struggling here by yourself when you don't need to be. And that's what I'm getting, that very strong message here. Sometimes the power is not so much in doing it yourself, but the real strength comes in acknowledging that, hey, maybe I need help, or accepting the help that is being offered, because I feel that help is being offered here. Look at that. Yeah. And it's interesting because it's sort of like this is a burnt down, and it feels like this is the ashes, but they're offering help, or like, oh, and it could be people that are actually offering, but it also could feel like your spirit guides are like, they're trying to, like, come on, we can do this, we come on. If you're feeling scarcity, especially here with the scarcity, you don't need to do it. Like, even just when I'm feeling scarcity, and I do often, because I think that's one of those things that I have to work on this lifetime. So the scarcity is basically acknowledging that you actually have options. There's something coming available to you. You're just not noticing it. So I always kind of like think, hey, I always ask for help when I'm noticing scarcity. I'm like, oh, like, you can, you can pray, you can wish upon, you can, like, and it's taking action too, but it's acknowledging that, hey, maybe I need help in this area. So sorry, I'm going long. I don't mean to, but it kind of goes that way. So what I want you to know, and it's really, really, like, very strong here, is that you, my friend, have the power. You have the power to, instead of like being like, oh, I'm not getting offered, noticing, you get to shift your perspective. Accept the power of accepting help when it is needed. You do not need to go at it alone. That is not, like, this is, you may think that that's what it is, but no, that it doesn't feel that way. Yeah. I want to almost say, like, true strength is in being able to humble ourselves, not to listen to our ego, but rather to listen to our higher self. Okay, so enough of that. Oh, look at that. We have that, and we have this. Oh, I do like this. And so this is sort of like, I always think about, this part is always like kind of like hidden aspects here. So we have salt purification, protection, white witch. So maybe connecting to your witchy roots. But the protection and purification, how do I say this? I want to say, like, the purification in terms of, okay, intentions. Not, I'm sorry, I like, sometimes I have to just kind of know. It's a sort of like, are your intentions pure a little bit? And I don't mean that in a, like, how do I say this? Here, I'm beginning to see that I'm struggling with this, but what I'm seeing here is sort of like, are your intentions coming from your ego or from your higher self? And it's okay that sometimes we have the ego here, because we are, that's what it is, but it's just being aware of it. Is that what I want to say? Yeah, I think that's what I want to say. Yeah, okay, that's what I want to say. Okay, and then there's the fun and responsibility, hardworking. I want you to acknowledge, though, that that's another thing here. That's the thing. You have worked hard, and I do feel like you are feeling quite responsible, especially because I feel like you almost carry that thing of, like, I have to do everything by myself, and there's a high responsibility, but there's a sense of, like, fun that needs to be balanced with this. And with this fun, I also want to say, like, when we work hard, the universe has worked even harder and it's trying to like make it easier. I feel like also your spirit guides are kind of yelling at you a little bit in the most loving way, that you know, like, let us help you. Let us help you. Like, yes, you've been working hard. I almost feel like, especially, if it's like loved ones, like grandma, grandpa, or like, if you've lost your parents, you know, and there is sadness there, but it's almost like I feel like they're like, let us help you, let us help you, let us pick you up down, let us, you know, help you if you're lacking of, you know, like if you're feeling scarcity, like let us help you because we can help, you know, like there is an offer that you're not listening to, you're not seeing because you're too much on the defense. And so I feel like it's almost like that. It's almost like a reminder, very beautiful and loving reminder. It's like, yes, you can take it on, you can struggle through it, but there's like, we can make it a lot easier. Let's bring the fun back into your life, right? Let's really like, because the Ace of Cups, I keep harping on the Ace of Cups, is really about that. It's fulfillment, happiness, joy. And for me, it's always a little bit of fun in there as well. Because it's like when you're having fun, your heart is full. And I feel like that's what they want to give you. A full heart, full of fun, happiness, and joy. But you keep on pushing it away. And understandably so, but it's like, that's why it's like, nope, come here. I do like, because maybe they are trying to protect you, and maybe purifying like the old energies. Like it's time to clear those old energies that are unfinished business. We gotta move forward, and this is for the love for this week. And so we have reflection. So taking this time for reflecting. Or somebody might be reflecting or thinking about you, and maybe that's why they come back. But what I'm seeing is that there is a sense of like, it's a pause, reflecting. Not necessarily, this is not the week for like the whole like love coming through, but maybe it is. But it's more like going deep within yourself, because sometimes we are too external, and especially if we're kind of putting our not boundaries, but our walls up. Like, is this really what you want? Really is the question. Let's see what guidance we have for the collective of group 1 for this week. Okay. Oh, look at that. I like this. Be proud of yourself. And that's coming back, acknowledging where you know, the growth that has happened. And with this growth, are you going to like move forward? You know? Let your fears dissolve. And I feel like that's why you have this. So whenever I see this kind of card where we have those, especially where we feel like we have to do everything ourselves, it's because there is a sense of fear coming through. So yeah, so those are the things. Be proud of yourself. You have moved forward, and that's like, congratulate yourself on this. Who you were and who you are is totally different. And then yeah, the fear coming from where you have to go at it alone, let that dissolve. There's like so much help around you, if you only allow it, if you only allow yourself to accept it. You would have an Ace of Cups, so that's quite lovely. Okay, I hope you liked this reading, group 1. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. It just helps the channel grow, and maybe consider subscribing. I've been promising live readings, and so I'm hoping to do it this week, because I do have like the 13 days of until Halloween, 13 days until Halloween starting this week. So, and I'm gonna just say, like, there is like a little subscriber giveaway for that kind of period. So do consider subscribing. And just, I want to say thank you so much for letting me read your cards. It means so much to me. I always have fun doing it. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate your journey. I get you. Thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Until I see you in the next one. Bye-bye, my dear friends. Okay, I'm gonna, you know how I do it. We're clearing everything up. And then we have group 2. Yeah. All right, group 2. Hello, my friends. Friend group 2. All right, so this is the overall energy that we have for this week. So we have 2 energies overall. And this is my spooky Mystic Night Sight Oracle, and you can find that at Etsy, and I'm gonna start to sell it on eBay soon too, so be on the lookout for that. Okay, let's get to it. So alchemy and Vampirian. So Vampirian, I actually came up with this. It's not a it's not a typo. I actually came up with the connect. I sort of blended two words: the vampire energy, but with the siren energy. So whenever I see this, I always know that there's somebody out there. The energy is of somebody who kind of like strokes your ego, but it's actually sucking you dry. So like somebody who compliments you, but because they want something from you. I know it's a bad energy, but it's something to be aware of, because usually this kind of energy or this kind of person comes into our life because we need that external validation. So like we like this, or we want to be acknowledged by others. And so the vampirian energy is sort of like, hey, that's sort of like for me it's always like, hey, we have to like look at ourselves and be like, hey, am I validating myself? Am like, or am I expecting, is it an external like where I feel good because I'm like making others happy, or but am I happy? And it's okay to help others and feel good in helping others. That's totally fine. If that gives you joy and happiness, helping others, not because you want the validation, but just because it makes you feel good, then awesome. But if somebody is like sort of like taking advantage of you a little bit because sometimes our ego is there, or sometimes our confidence is lacking. So it's just like a little nudging there. So just to be careful with that vampirian, somebody who strokes your ego, or who's like, yeah, compliments you, but really is kind of draining you in some way. There's like an imbalance of, okay, that's what it is, an imbalance of that connection there. So just right there. And then we have the alchemy. So for me, alchemy is all about taking all the different elements of currently in your life and sort of creating something new. So I was okay. Sorry, I laugh because it's sort of like I get these images. It's sort of like turning the tables on this person. Like, so with the alchemy, I always think that whatever situation you're in, there's a way to make it beneficial to you. I hope that makes sense. Sort of like the always sort of seeing the silver lining, but it's even more than that. It's sort of shifting the energy, so it's like kind of a beneficial here. So maybe if somebody has been like kind of like a little vampirian energy, kind of turning tables on them, maybe it's time for you to like, hey, can you like asking for that balance back. So maybe asking them to help you in this case, or yeah, sort of, that's what I'm kind of seeing as sort of, it's sort of like for me that's why I laughed, because it's like, oh, turning the tables on the person or the energy. So if something's draining, can you make it so it's not draining at all? Because it's sort of like, for me, alchemy is sort of transmuting a situation. So in transmuting, transforming. So that's the alchemy element. So how can you shift whatever, something of your situation, current situation as it is, especially when it's dealing with somebody who's sort of like draining you in some way, or like energy. Yeah, so it could be shifting, like go saying goodbye, but it feels like there's something a little bit better than that. I don't know. Let me know about that, because it's sort of like, I really like this. It's sort of like you have a lot more power here than you are acknowledging or no. So shifting that alchemy, creating something in that situation. I like this. Okay. We have the 10 of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Cups, we have the 2 of Pentacles, and then we have the full energy. Oh, such a lovely. So the 2 of Pentacles is what I'm here. I feel like that's the alchemy here for you. I mean, it's also with this Ace of Cups and everything. Not saying that that's not true, but for me, that 2 of Pentacles is always finding that, again, a balance here. Here we actually have like twins, and again, it's sort of like, because one has the white and then the other one has the black, but it seems like it's the same connection, almost. Okay, all right, I hear you. So the alchemy here of like shadow self and light self coming through, and there I am working in collaboration about this, reading with me doing the shadow side, and then somebody else like the shadow side that you need to work on, and then Marina, the Divine Starseed, is working on the light side. So be on the lookout for that as well. So what I'm seeing here is maybe alchemy here of that. So let's say you're kind of coming here of like you want the approval, but shifting it like it's sort of like, how do I say it? Because it's not just like you just go like, oh, it's an internal. It's sort of like acknowledging maybe that you do like to people please, or maybe acknowledging that there is this sense of wanting external validation, and it's not and that's like something that we can work on, I feel like, and knowing that, I feel like I want to say this like very cliche thing, which is knowledge is power, and I feel like knowing yourself is actually, there's so many different elements to us, right? There's so many different layers to us, and maybe there's different layers to this person as well, right? Or like I feel like it's a person. I can't help it. I think it's a person. So maybe actually getting to know this person, why this person does this. So like actually, maybe not just taking them at face value either, but actually getting to know them, like go underneath the like why do you need to do this, like maybe they have a lot of like confidence lacking problems too, like I almost want to say that it's like it feels like there's an opportunity here. I'm just not to shift and change a situation. Maybe this vampirian becomes your new bestie, or introduces you to a bestie, or introduces you to someone who like you will be. It's sort of like, that's what I'm saying. So basically, a negative situation, like, or what seems like a negative situation, can be changed into something very positive, and that to possibly a new beginning completely here with this full energy. There's to an Ace of Cups, so maybe like some sort of fulfillment that comes through, but it really comes from you acknowledging too, like finding this balance within yourself. The alchemy also of accepting who you are, both the shadow and the light. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles. Again, it's a sort of sense of fulfillment coming through, happiness, joy. It's sort of like, look, you're kind of running towards this. You're running towards this happiness. You're running towards this, and moving away from, I almost want to say like the past. That sort of is what I'm seeing here. So that's why there's new beginning. Really like this energy, by the way, group too. That's all there's to. And so this is Salem's sister Vila Ventera by Vila Ventera, yeah. And you can find that on Etsy as well. So come circle, yay! Actually, look at this, yeah. So you're come circle, gather, de-stress, brainstorm. Maybe that's a sense. I don't know. I really do feel like there's a potential here for connecting with somebody as in some way, like we're getting to know them actually. Maybe gathering is also important. What else do I want to say here? Oh, okay. All right. So the wigs are really calling to me, and so there's like a sense of different chakras energy here. We have the third eye right there. We have the second chakra, and then we have the crown chakra. So sort of like it's sort of the sense of, and again, look at the cauldron, alchemy for alchemy. Yeah. So alchemy, it's sort of like combining. So what I'm really, a strong message that I'm seeing here is that really look at the whole. Don't try to like look at separate parts, but rather seeing the alchemy of how everything is together. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so hearth containment, alchemy, it's again, it's sort of like, and I love that it's a very strong statement here because it's being echoed twice. It's like, yes, confirmation, alchemy is important. I really want to say you have the ability to shift and change a situation that does not seem positive. It's going to be, or even like a relationship where you think it's like, oh no, there's there might be an imbalance, or whatever it is. Maybe even getting to know this person. I really want to say that. So asking questions, getting to know them, because there is more people, including ourselves and everything, act from if there's a balance in them in some way, are acting from a place of fear. So anger comes from a place of fear. Well, definitely worries come from a place of fear. Even sometimes, like, well, sadness, I'm not sure, but sometimes can be coming from a place of fear. There's a sadness of like never, like a fear of never being happy. Maybe I don't know why I had to say that, but I just go with it. So gathering. Also, the alchemy of like gathering with others. Yeah, have you ever been? You probably have, but when you kind of like let's say you're in a good mood and then other people are in a good mood, and it sort of elevates everybody, right? It's just sort of like there is a sense of, I always think about when you're with somebody, it's sort of well, I always think of alchemy when I see somebody and you have this connection. First, I always think energetically you meld, and so that's how you can tune into whether you're going to be good with somebody and versus not, because you intuitively it's a blending of both of your energies, and this is like before you even talk, it could be a stranger, and you just kind of like, it sort of energetically know whether you're gonna be right, or you're gonna be like, we're not gonna like each other, right? So the alchemy of others. So maybe I feel like this week is also calling you to actually go out and try to like be a little social, my friends. Even with family and friends here, family and friends also play an important thing, because I feel like there's this Ace of Cups that's coming, and then a new beginning coming for you as well. Let's see what in terms of love, what's happening. Okay, so repetitive cycles. So this energy for this week for your love is repetitive cycles. So what cycles are there? So if you're not with somebody, what cycles, but you're like, I really want to be with somebody, but it keeps getting stuck, or you're like, it's not working out. Like what cycles? And cycles for me also is thoughts. So like, what thoughts are looping through your head? It's like, is it like I'm never gonna find love, and never like nobody likes me? Is it like, are those the thoughts? Because those are like repetitive cycles, and that's why we haven't moved on from that. We are not able to. If our thoughts is that nobody likes us, and if our thoughts is like we're never gonna find love, guess what? That's what we do, like, because that's sort of what we are attracting to ourselves. But if we shift it around and say, hey, it doesn't have to be a big shift. This is like, hey, maybe there's somebody out there for me. There seems to be somebody for other people. Why can't there be somebody for me? All right. It doesn't have to be a big shift, but or like if you're arguing with the significant other, you're like, keep arguing, and it seems like it's a repetitive argument. It's like, I always say, talk it out, but see what that cycle is for you. Really get to the bottom of it. And for me, this repetitive cycle is always your thoughts. What thoughts are you thinking that are leading you to this outcome or where you are? All right, let's see what advice we have for you for this week. I'm sorry, I'm feeling like I apologize a lot too. But it's also, am I making this way too long? Am I talking too much? I never know. I'm always guided, but just so you know, you could always, actually, there's a speed button in the settings. So if I'm talking too slow or something, or you wanted to get to the good things faster, you could always do that. So embrace the flow of life. Yes, that's the alchemy. I really like that. So embrace the flow of life. What does that mean to you? For me, embracing the flow of life is knowing that there's ups and downs, there is cycles, that there is a way like of shifting energy as well. So let's see what other guidance you have for the collective of group 2 this week. Trust the universe. Yes. Right? Always. That's a hard one for us sometimes, right? Because we are like, oh my goodness. And those are our worrying thoughts here. And that's the fear coming from that. But if you trust the universe, and I would say, like, if you trust the universe, if you trust spirit, if you trust God, there's a sense of like letting go of this fear. And that's the difference. So I do feel like that's an important thing, because I feel like fear is underlying something in your way this week. Okay, so I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do give it a like button, and do consider subscribing. There's a lot of stuff coming. I'm working on it. I'm slow. I am a Knight of Pentacles in many regards. I also get distracted easily. But so there's lots of stuff that I do plan on coming, like live readings. It is happening. I will do this. It just takes me a while. So especially because this is going to be the 13 days until Halloween. So I'm trying to make something special happen, especially for those 13 days. Whether it does, it doesn't. I'm well intentioned. But I do want to make it something special. So live readings should be coming. I do have, we're going to do a reading giveaway for that special season for the Halloween. And if you actually want to book a personal reading, that's totally cool too. I'm doing like spooky Halloween theme ones, and I do all sorts of other readings too. So, all right, enough of the jibber jabber. I am so grateful to you. Thank you so much for letting me read your cards. It really, I'm feeling honored that I get to do that. Thank you for sharing your energy, and of course sharing your journey with me. Until I see you in the next one, bye bye, my dear friends. And so we go, because we gotta do it. All right. Hey, my friends. All right. So, hello, group 3. You're here, my dear friends. Okay. So, we got messages, and we also have scarcity. Okay. So, this is the overall energy. And I'm noticing that there's an overall energy here of like, I wouldn't say like, I would say things that we need to focus on. So, let's say like this one's scarcity. So, I feel like this week is about shining a little lantern on our own, like where we are a bit worried, where we are like where there's an imbalance of sorts. So I feel like scarcity is a big one for you, my dear group 3. And I want to say scarcity is not just about like money or like financial situations. It could be a scarcity where you feel scarcity in terms of maybe time. You could also feel scarcity in terms of love or connections. So we are going to look at that. And so what I'm seeing here is that there is messages on how to alleviate that. So Spirit, I feel like, is sending you messages. So for me, it's kind of like reassuring messages. It's also maybe messages on how to help you with this. And even our scarcity gives us messages, right? So let's take finances and everything. So sorry, we feel scarcity, right? And we like often have a bad relationship with money because we look at it as a bad thing, but really what we're really missing is we're feeling the scarcity of money. When we have money, right? I always say this, like a lot of people don't like rich people, and I'm okay, but it's like, because you know how it is, there's good rich people and there's not so good rich people, right? There's harmful, but that's always, it's not the money, but it's actually the intentions of the person, right? I always think, like, if you were to win, like, let's say $10 million, what would you do with it? Like, would you, like, what would be the thing? And then, like, could you help somebody? Could you help others with that money, right? Or not, right? And if you look at it that way, it's like, yes, I can definitely help others with that money. And your intentions are good, right? And so having the money would help. I hope that makes sense. And then for others, like with the scarcity of love, right? We are often, usually, when I see somebody who has a scarcity of love or affection, it's sort of like, it really comes from a scarcity of loving themselves. And now, but really deep at the root. And I don't know why, but this week I'm feeling to talk a lot, so please bear with me. It's sort of like, even deep down there is a scarcity of loving themselves, because we can say, yeah, I love myself, and we can, because I feel like we often, even with affirmations, we can say the words but we don't feel it. And so this is what I'm seeing here. For whatever scarcity you have, this is actually a clear message. It's almost like it's shining the light there because you need to see it. So wherever you're worried or wherever you're feeling like you don't have enough of something, it is letting you know that there is, I almost feel like there's energy block, but it's almost like there might be a thing where you want to look at in your thoughts, like what's driving this, right? So there is that, and I do feel like there are messages of helping coming through as well. Let's actually see what the tarot has for us. Yeah, okay, beautiful. Yeah, look at this, very, 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 very strong energy here. We have 3 major arcanas, and then this beautiful Knight of Pentacles. So this Knight of Pentacles, also, again, this bird messaging, I feel like there's a sense of messages coming, especially in your dreams, possibly. Intuition, highly strong. The Pentacle energy is somebody who lays down this true foundation, right? There is abundance. They're not fast moving, but they're very solid, and they really create something. Okay, let's do this. If you were to choose between like a Knight of Pentacles and a Knight of Wands, very, very passionate Knight of Wands, beautiful energy, not knocking it down. But as in a person, I would rather have somebody steady who will actually, like, especially let's say for working or for even being with somebody steady versus somebody who will just kind of like be there, but then they're gone, right? So what do you want? This is the energy that's being offered to you. It's sort of want to say, first of all, that the scarcity of whatever it is feeling is available to you. Whatever you want, it is available to you. It just might take time, right? We can't change our like situations like with the snap of a thing. It takes time, and there's development that needs to be here, and I could see the development here with these major arcanas. So strength. There's a sense of, and here it's like this person, this is how the hand is. It's sort of like this is actually the reflection of somebody, or like connecting. And so I'm not sure, to me it sort of seems like the reflection, sort of like coming through with the strength of seeing. And then I feel like that's why the scarcity is being highlighted. Really look at yourself in the mirror, really look at your situation in the mirror, and see that the strength is in, I almost feel like, acknowledging it, seeing it as it is, whatever you are, you as you are, or the situation as it is. What is it? Seeing it clearly and understanding it. That's the strength that's coming through here. The Hermit here is, and see, whenever I see this card, I really love this deck. It's sort of like our fear, maybe our inner child here. It's sort of like that's what is this scarcity is coming, this fear. So we're shining again. We're shining a light on it. We're guiding here, and then once we shine the light upon that, there is no longer that fear, or at least we know how to help it, how to become stronger from it. Now that no, this is not this, I'm sorry. This is the Death card. The Death card, it means to me that there is an ending. That is a need for you. Okay. It's more like it's it really is for me facing. So this week is really facing your fears, whatever that may be. And then once you face them, I feel like you're true, like you're gonna be able to end whatever they are. And I feel like it's almost like you're transforming into like this really like a superhero of sorts. You gotta face this fears. You gotta see it. Oh, I like this actually. This is a very cool energy. Especially because I'm like, what is this? I'm like, oh, is it an ending? But it feels like there's I wanted to say like a transformation here from here to like this superhero of sorts. Very cool energy. But with time, it's not going to happen overnight. But there is a lot of transformation that can come this week for you. and see what other things. And this is the Salem Sisters by V Love and Tarot. So bus driver, creep, pervert, foot. Trump said blowing off steam, skill, hobby. Okay, so this is sort of interesting because this is sort of like the stuff that is like sort of we don't expect but it's coming through. So the bus driver, so maybe a creep, a pervert, or flirt. So maybe there is some sort of that's coming through. I'm gonna leave that there. So it could be that somebody is a little creepy. We're attracting this energy because we have a sense of scarcity. So maybe for some of you, you've been attracting the Knight of Wands. Really want the Knight of Pentacles. So that might be, but I'm actually gonna take this almost like chariot energy, but a little bit different, because I feel like the bus driver is somebody who's going to drive you to a location. And so this is what I'm going to say. Are you on the right bus? Are you going to where you want to go? Right now, it feels like we're headed, like you might be like here in it's like scarcity city versus where you want abundance city. So maybe you need to get off that bus. And it could be changing those thoughts. So maybe that's something somebody needs to hear. Are you on the right bus, my friend? And for some of you, that might actually be something, because I really keep hearing that. And so I want to say maybe that might just be something where you actually get out, like, are you on the right road? Are you on the, but it feels like it's a bus. So maybe for some of you, actually asking yourself that, are you on the right bus for where you want to go? And if not, you can always get off and take a different bus. That's important. Now, blowing off steam and skill and hobby. So this is going to be interesting for me, because, but I feel like it's like you need to go through your own drumbeat. You need to follow your own path here. But yeah, for some of you, maybe it's not even about like taking a different bus, but maybe walking. But going through your own drumbeat, I almost there's also a sense of like, if you're feeling financially scarcity, look at it like a skill that you have, a hobby that you're not looking at. That might help you. We often don't see that there's potential. And for example, if you really like animals or dogs or cats or something, maybe you can like offer cat sitting or pet sitting services, where it's just a side hustle. Maybe you take care of other people's, pets when they're away. That might just be something. I just feel like there's a potential here with skills and hobby. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say here, because I feel like, okay, sorry, I was going to leave it there, but I can't. That Knight of Pentacles is kind of reminding me that you can build upon something. So it doesn't have to be right now. Maybe the side hobby or skill is not gonna like give you right now, it's not gonna pay for all your bills. But if you start developing now, later on it can help you. So that's something for you. Another love energy, grieving. Yeah. So it's like this pile feels like there's so many different energies, because I feel like for some of you, it's like worried about finances, worrying about like not having enough money, or maybe even not having enough time. So maybe making time for hobbies, making time for like this. Okay, and then for others of you, it's sort of like a grieving, like it's sort of like love, like you see how there's a sense also like as like there's just nothing, sort of like it's not a pretty dress or anything. It's sort of like rags. And so I just feel like there's a sense of scarcity even here for love. And so I'm trying to get it to focus, but it just doesn't want to focus. So hopefully kind of focus. Yeah, all right. So the grieving here could be that you're not feeling like there's love. And then, like I said, if there's not love coming through, it might just be that you yourself aren't giving your like love. You may say it, I love myself and I really like but in deep down, do you care for yourself? Why are you wearing rags? Why aren't you just wearing like something awesome that makes you feel really awesome? I'm not saying maybe if rags makes you feel really good, but it just doesn't seem like this light is shining for you. So if it depends on what that is, or maybe for some of you it is that maybe this week you're having a spiff with somebody, but it really comes, even if you're with somebody and this is like where you're having arguments and you feel kind of sad about it, or somebody like who broke up, the real thing here is like, are you good with your connection with yourself? And that's something I want to say, because it feels like that's what I'm getting, like we need to work on a little bit. Let's see what advice we have for the collective of group 4 at group 3 at the time. Sorry, I was looking ahead. Practice gratitude. Okay, so scarcity, yeah, that's also another beautiful thing, because when we acknowledge all that we have, more comes that way too. And so we often don't recognize that we have a whole lot, and we feel like a little bit of this energy of the grieving sad, but we have so much to be grateful for. And just take a moment and just to think about all the cool things that you have. It's very beautiful. Oh my goodness, then this is interesting. Oh boy, look at that. Okay, we're gonna have, this one came out from group 2, and it's just an energy that fears dissolve, and that's the scarcity. Like I said, the scarcity comes from the fear. And keep your heart open. Yes, especially because I feel like messages are coming for you, group 3. All right, I hope you liked this reading. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing. I have a whole bunch of stuff coming. I am very much a Knight of Pentacles, so everything's a little slow moving, but there I do want to have live readings, and you'll know if there's live readings. And also, like, do have a subscriber giveaway coming up, so please be on the lookout for that, and please do consider subscribing. Thank you so much. I feel so honored that I got to read your cards. I really love your energy, group 3. So, because you're there, my friend. Your growth is coming big time. So don't feel bad at all this week. You got this, my friends. And practice gratitude. Yes. All right. Thank you so much. I'm sending you so much love and so much light. Until seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye, my dear friends. All right. And you're just gonna see me clear this up a little bit. All right, group 3. Group 4. Hello, group 4. Let's see what your energy is for this week. Yep. Overall energy, we have prison and transformation. We're transforming this prison. And so prison, often when I look at that prison, it's actually like, it sort of reminds me a lot of the 8 of Swords. So it's a prison of our making, my friends. Where are you keeping yourself prisoner? And that's an important thing, because we need to transform it. I almost feel like there's a sense of like letting yourself go wild, my friend, with this wolf energy. I love it. Wolf energy. Where can you get like this is a need for you to like cut your own ropes, like where you're like break yourself free of your own prison. So by that is like what area in your life right now is not like giving you that like happiness, where you feel like I have to do this, right? Or you just feel like there's no motion. I feel like you're feeling a bit stuck, and we need to transmute that energy by actually, I would say, like really listening to your more wild instincts, your more like free, like I feel like there's a sense of like needing freedom, because yes, you are in a prison, but of your own making. What's this be? But we need to like, I feel like the prison for me is sort of like a comfort zone, stepping out of your comfort zone, my friends. So that's what I'm gonna go with. So stepping out of your comfort zone. How can we do that? Like I'm gonna put a challenge for you. How can you step out of your comfort zone? So I'm gonna step out of my comfort zone this week. But like I actually want to do live readings, but I'm also a bit afraid of them. So we're gonna step out of my comfort zone. I'm gonna do live readings. I was gonna do it anyways, but I won't make excuses and say I can't do it because of blah 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 blah. So I'm gonna challenge you. So where are you feeling stuck in prison, and what can we do? Like how do we get out of this comfort zone into something totally new for you? For some of you, I feel like wearing that really like bright shade of lipstick, maybe like calling attention to yourself in some manner. Maybe that's what it is, or I don't know. That's what I have for you in terms of like what prison I can see. Maybe for some of you trying new food too. You might like it. I don't know. Well, just let's have fun with it, right? Okay. Yes. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Beautiful energy, my friends. Okay. So this week, important, working hard. I almost feel like, again, this Eight of Pentacles, it's sort of like releasing some sort of energy. It's sort of like you're working hard on releasing and transforming because again, the hands are open. It's sort of like you're ready. And what I'm seeing here is that we're working towards this beautiful Queen of Wands energy. Queen of Wands energy, what do we say? Passion, passion and creativity. And feeling like really confident. I always love the Queen of Wands because there's a sense of very strong confidence. There's like, look at that sex appeal. So maybe that's something, maybe you haven't been like, like doing that for yourself. Like, let's highlight some aspect of yourself that needs to be like coming out. This is the energy that's what I'm saying. So you're feeling stuck. We're needing channel the Queen of Wands energy. Ooh, maybe even like if you have a tarot deck, putting it out. That's the energy for this week, my friends. Coming through like boss babe, just babe. And then also coming here, look at the moon it's also very important. Oh yeah, and it is very important because soon there's going to be a new moon. So it needs so connecting to the moon for helping you to transform, and also like connecting to your intuition. Oof, I feel like this week your psychic abilities will be off the charts, my friends. So letting them guide you. Intuition is so important because look, it's like you're moving forward. I want you to see from the 2 to the Chariot, so from the 2 to the 7, very strong motion moving forward, listening to your intuition, connecting to this like fiery, passionate self that you are, to the Queen of Wands, and working on it, like working on this. It's going to help you move forward quite a lot. Lots of momentum moving forward. I almost feel like, hey, you're ready to go to the next level. And that's what I'm saying. But you gotta leave the prison behind, and the prison of I want to say prison of conformity for some of you as well. For me as well. Prison of conformity. So just trying to like conform. And then also the prison of just kind of like not the comfortableness. So it's, yeah, that's what I'm saying here. This is the Salem Sisters by V Love and Tarot. So let's see what we have here. Look at that lullaby. Ooh, alluring enchantment. So hypnosis. I actually like, this is sort of the energy I'm feeling for you. You are very alluring, but you haven't been playing that way. You have been kind of like, yeah. So I feel like really connect to that. Enchantment. Be that enchantress. I really want to play that. And here we have black and purple hair. Wisdom, competence, people pleasing. So maybe for some of you that might be the prison, the people pleasing. And so it's funny because I'm like, for me, that purple hair is actually like not that at all. It should be like, purple hair is for me connecting to psychic abilities, and it should be like being free. I feel like you're meant to be free, and you're somehow blocking yourself with this, maybe with the people pleasing. Yes. But I really feel like connecting. This is so important, like connecting to these two energies. Oof, I like it. So yeah, those are the kind of things that I have. Let's see what your love energy for this week is. Options. Yes, we have different options, my friend. And for me, look at this. These are the keys to the prison. Oh, I love it. I love when stuff like that happens. Okay, so I'm gonna say that yes, maybe there's a lot of options for you in terms of love. There's also options in terms of like romantic love. That's what I want to say. There's also options in terms of I want to say like of things that to do what you do love. Like you don't have to just stay where you are. You can actually, there's options for you available to you. So I want to say like you never really have to be in a prison. There's always options available to you. You just need to take them. You just gotta pick and go with it. Open up and open yourself up, open your heart, be the enchantress that you are, listening to your own intuition, my friends. Always, always, always. Because I put our intuition, we're like, we get it, and with the intuition is like a little gentle nudging, and then we kind of like, no, but it always guides us correctly. I always believe in that. So the option, so maybe there's going to be plenty of suitors for you, my friends, or like, love interest. But it's also like you get to choose. Do you want to go be with this? Do you want to be somewhere else? I don't know. There's like, I just feel like there's options in terms of love, but it's also like in life in general as well. So good for you. Let's see what your advice for this week is. Reveal what needs to be seen. So maybe reveal your true self. Transform it, yeah, because maybe you have been, that's maybe the prison. You're like, you're not ready to show that splendid person that you are, but it's like, reveal who you are. You need to be seen, like, reveal. That's this transformation that's coming. The wild side, I would say, oh, look at them. Be humble. I actually, I'm going to talk a little bit more. Sorry, sometimes that's just how it is today. So humble. I used to have a big issue with being humble. Oh, I love this too. Sorry, and it's still wild. So I used to have a big issue with being humble, because I was like, oh, no. I was more like, because I didn't understand humbleness in its entirety. Being humble is I feel like that you have enough strength that you don't have to show off. You don't need that sense of for me, humbleness is sort of like and it's not fake humbleness, but it's a sort of like acknowledging. I sort of, in many ways, used to think like, oh, being prideful was a good thing, not because of that, but because there's like acknowledging your gifts. But I feel like being humble is acknowledging of your gifts. It's sort of like, I have them, and you don't have to show them off, right? I believe in not needing to show off. If they're there, acknowledging them. I'm not saying that, but there's a sense of, to me, like, pridefulness could be where you're just like, yes, I don't know if I'm explaining it right. But for me, just being humble is being aware of your gifts, but not necessarily having to flash them to everybody, because you're good with who you are. And that's why I feel like it's basically being good with who you are is a sense of humbleness, because you're like, I'm good where I am. I'm also acknowledging with being humble that I don't have control over, like, I would say 99% of circumstances, especially around the world, but especially also, like, I can't control others. And that's the humble. I'm like, I wouldn't really want to. I thought, before I always judged others, and this is my growth process. I would judge others, and like, we could say that I was like not judging. I was just suggesting, like, I could see how to help them, and like how to help them, and how to, like, how I would live their life better. And then I noticed that I'm like way too focused on other people's lives and not focusing on my own. And it's much easier to always judge others than really going in deep within yourself and saying, hey, you know what? I don't actually know. Maybe making that decision for them is actually going to lead them to where they need to go. I can't control others, and that's okay, and that's a good thing. I really don't, because I wouldn't trust myself to make decisions for other people. I can only trust my own intuition, my own guidance to make decisions for myself. And there's I think humility in that, acknowledging, right? And so being humble is being okay with who you are, acknowledging that you don't have control over everybody or everything, and that actually is really good, because I'm not I don't know where things lead. So yeah, sorry about that. I sometimes I share, sometimes I don't, but I feel like that was something maybe some of you needed to hear. Because I do feel like this go wild is also like this transformation. It's sort of like really releasing yourself from whatever prison that you have been putting yourself in. And I really do feel like it's like comfort and maybe conformity for a good chunk of you. And so it's time to unleash your true self, my friends. And when you do, I feel like you will be humbled by it, because you're like, I'm also humbled by who I've become, because I'm like, wow, there's a big shift and change. So I hope you are aware of it. Like, and that's something else. You're awesome. You don't need to show it off to others. You should just know it, that you're super awesome. And that's how I feel. Like you're here. You're awesome. I love your energy. So keep up the work. Good work, my friends. All right. So with that, I am just thanking so much for letting me read your cards. If you did like this reading, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do consider subscribing. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff that's gonna come up little by little. We'll get there. So like live readings, I am going to do a giveaway for the subscribers, so that's also coming up. So thank you so much. I am sending you so much love and so much light. Until I see you in the next one, bye bye, my dear friends. Okay, my friends.